I feel like almost everyone trying to improve at something stresses about the amount of time they should practice. Regardless of if you're just starting out or looking to become a professional, it's hard not to worry that you're either overworking yourself and about to burn out or not working nearly as hard as you could be. It doesn't help that there's a dense fog of misinformation and myth surrounding this topic. Esports pros will tell you that you need to play the game 10 hours a day to become a professional. Malcolm Gladwell has spread the myth that it takes 10,000 hours to become a master. And then there's your girlfriend, or more likely your mom, telling you not to spend all day on the computer. Or there's that random guy on YouTube telling you that it's optimal to practice exactly 97 minutes per day. Because of all this, no matter what you do, it always feels like everyone around you is telling you that you're doing it wrong. I may be just another one of these voices, but I hope to offer you a perspective that you haven't heard before, or maybe one that you've just forgotten about. The truth is that there's no perfect answer to the question, how much should I practice? Everyone is different. We all have different goals, schedules, workflows, and personalities. The amount of time that you should spend each day practicing depends on what you want and how you work best. Although I can't see inside your head and tell you exactly how long you specifically should practice, I believe I can still offer you some advice or a few words of wisdom that can point you in the right direction. I can't tell you definitively if you're practicing too much or not enough, but by the end of this video, you should be much more capable of answering that question for yourself without the need of some other guy with a microphone or a pen. Plebeian. You can learn new things at any time in your life if you're willing to be a beginner. If you learn to like being a beginner, the whole world opens up to you. Barbara Sher. Despite the negative connotation that is often associated with the word plebeian, I mean no ill will in my usage right now. Plebeian in ancient Rome simply meant a commoner, and while it's certainly not glamorous to associate yourself with the commoners of ancient Rome, not everyone needs to be the emperor. And in the specific context of this video, not everyone needs to become the best or a professional. You might just want to learn a new skill or game or speedrun or whatever for fun. You might want to learn a cool party trick, or you might just want to be slightly better than those other commoners. This desire to just become slightly better at something is awesome. If learning how to kickflip or the basics of programming or how to beat your brother in Street Fighter is something that interests you, that's fantastic. And here's the good news. You can learn how to do anything you want. You can become whatever you want, no matter who you are. Talent barely exists. Learning a cool party trick, a new sport, or a speedrun just for fun doesn't take that much time at all. You don't need to become a professional or an expert at everything you do. You don't need to put in 10,000 hours to just have fun learning something new. If you are just trying to learn something new, you really only need about 30 minutes of practice per day until you're satisfied with your skill level, after which you could probably practice only 30 minutes a week, or 5 or 10 minutes a day in order to maintain that skill for the rest of your life. Of course, you can choose any number you like. If you're obsessed and want to practice hours a day when starting out, go for it. But it's not necessary. A big thing I want to mention here is consistency. A lot of people, when trying to learn something new for fun, mess up on this front. Even if you're just learning for fun, you still want to make progress. And to ensure that you're making good progress, it's important that you do your best to try to get some practice or learning in every day. The problem with skipping days is that you're likely going to forget a lot of things or get worse during those off days. Meaning when you come back to practice, you're gonna have to spend a lot of time relearning the things that you've forgotten. Basically, the entire learning and improvement process will just take you that much longer, as not only are you practicing fewer days, but the days you are practicing, you're gonna likely have to spend a lot of time relearning all those things you forgot. I understand not everyone's schedule permits daily practice. And again, I don't want to make you feel like you're doing it all wrong. You can still learn and improve with a learning schedule that isn't daily. However, do your best to stay consistent in some way. If you can't practice Tuesdays and Thursdays, make sure you can and do practice Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Or, whatever works best for you. Note that daily practice of any kind, even for just 10 minutes, makes a big difference. But we all need to do what works best for us. Remember, this is all about having fun. Don't stress about maintaining a quote-unquote perfect schedule if you simply can't. Passionate. Now, if you're anything like me, then your desires usually are a little bit more than that of plebeians. Typically, I don't want to just learn something because of a small interest. Usually, I'm obsessed and have a deep passion for something new. Or for you, maybe instead of being obsessed with a new thing, you just have that one hobby that you care a lot about. Although you may not want to make that hobby your job, you do care about being really good at it. You may not want to become a professional artist, but you do want to improve as much as you can. You may not want to win a fighting game super major, but you do want to win your local tournament. If this describes you, then you might be even more confused than most people when it comes to how much you should practice. It's easy to think, oh, well, those guys just learning for fun, they practice 20 minutes a day, that makes sense. Oh, and professionals, yeah, they practice all day. But for me, how much should I practice? Let me try to help you out as someone who's been in this position many times myself. First, let me restate how integral consistency is for improving at a good rate. Whatever skill level, whatever you're practicing, keep a consistent schedule. If not every day, then most days. If you can't, you can't, but recognize that it does come with downsides. With that note out of the way, around 1 to 2 hours of daily practice is a good amount of time if you're passionate about improving, but maybe don't want to become the best. If you are attacking improvement using the right techniques, 1 to 2 hours is plenty of time to make meaningful progress every day. With focused practice every day, given enough time, you'll reach any goal you set for yourself. Note that if your schedule does not permit for a dedicated 2-hour practice session, or you simply can't focus for that long, it might be a good idea to split up that practice session into 2 1-hour practice sessions, or perhaps even 3 sessions lasting half an hour each. These separate practice sessions can help reset your focus and ensure the duration of your practice is spent as locked in as you can. It's especially important that you keep your practice sessions focused and straight to the point with high concentration. Even though you're only doing 1 to 2 hours of practice a day, you can compensate for that by adding clarity to your practice sessions by keeping them goal-oriented. On that point, make sure you are always seeking out feedback, either during or after your practice sessions. Without feedback, it can be hard to know what you're doing wrong or what you should practice next. If you don't know what to practice, it doesn't matter if you spend 8 hours a day practicing. You won't get any better. For more information on the importance of feedback, watch my video, The Key to Guarantee Improvement, or hit that subscribe button for future videos that I'll be releasing on the topic of feedback. Professional. So how much time should you spend practicing every day if you want to become the best? Short answer, 4 hours a day, every day. Well, yes and no. Researchers and scientists, when studying musicians, found that 3 hours of daily practice was the minimum needed to become a professional. I think 3 hours is a good baseline that we could apply to most things, not just music. However, the truth is that how much you spend practicing each day matters very little compared to the quality of your practice each day. The problem with statistics like the one I just shared, or with Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hour rule, is that they don't cover the importance of quality practice. It may take you 10,000 hours to become a master, or 3 hours daily to become a professional, but that's not all it takes. You can't just spend 10,000 hours, or 3 hours a day practicing something and expect greatness to just arrive. You've probably spent 10,000 hours eating or using silverware, but you certainly aren't a spoon master. You would have to deliberately practice the art of using a fork and knife every day, with proper goals and focus and feedback from a fork and knife fucking expert. And even then, it might not take you 10,000 hours. Could take you 5,000 or 20,000, who knows? You might feel good working 3 hours a day, or 5 hours, or 8 hours, or 10 hours a day. It doesn't matter. If you want to become a professional, make sure that you spend more effort focusing on optimizing your practice instead of worrying about the exact length of your practice sessions. If you're getting in 3 or more hours of practice every day, you're doing enough. From there, it's just about ensuring your practice is quality practice. With enough of that, you can become the best at anything you choose to. Conclusion. How much should I practice is a commonly asked question that has a million different answers. The truth is, it all depends on you. If you are just learning for fun, jump right in and spend 30 minutes or so a day until you lock in your new skill. Enjoy the learning process and believe that you can learn anything. If you have a deep passion and want to become quite good, 1 to 2 hours of practice a day, if it's focused practice, is plenty of time to hone in on your passion. And finally, if your goal is to become a professional or to achieve a world record, at least 3 hours hours, preferably a bit more, is required every day. Good luck out there, and remember, these are just recommendations. Everyone is different. Stay consistent, stay persistent, and enjoy the learning process. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.